car. This is my wife's 1983 Mercury Capri that we picked up earlier this year from Alabama. Got it off of Facebook Marketplace. This car, she had one just like it, not the same color, I found out, but same year and everything when she was in high school. And when she graduated, this was her car she graduated in. So we picked this thing up. It's got a 3.8 V6. It's not a 5.0, even though this is the Fox body. You can go back and watch the video where I went through. We cleaned the interior out a little bit, and kind of did a walk around of the car. This thing's got that bubble back glass, and I've only seen one for sale, a hatch, just a hatch only, and it was like 500 bucks. So I should have snapped it up, but wasn't ready to yet. It'd be good to have a spare, but hopefully that never gets broken, because they made this model and then they went straight to the more flat glass like the Fox body Mustang, you know. So I think they only made this one year with that type of glass, and then I want to say in '84 is when they went to the flat glass. But anyway, this thing runs. It's got the 3.8 liter V6. The previous owner did a lot of work to it. He replaced like the ignition coil, spark plug wire, spark plugs. He said it ran, but it just didn't run right. The worst thing he did to it was he cut the exhaust away from up under it because he thought the converters were clogged up. So he cut the exhaust and he drilled holes. The converters are actually on the manifolds. So he drilled holes on the side of them. I mean, and converters for this thing are hard to find. That's because they're made onto the exhaust manifolds. I mean, I looked for a set of headers for a V6. Wasn't successful with that. I looked for some regular manifolds. I wasn't successful with that either. But I wanted to keep it V6. She don't need anything fast like a 302 or something like that. I mean, if it came down to it, I would 302 swap it. But I wanted to just keep it V6. So what I want to do is get the exhaust on it where it's quiet. I think I'm going to take the throttle body off and just put a 2-barrel Ford carburetor on it. Now these have the throttle body fuel injected system on it, and it's kind of crappy. I mean, all that stuff's outdated. So I was doing some reading and some checking, and the intake manifold is kind of set up like a 2-barrel Ford manifold. So what I'm planning on doing is just put a regular 2-barrel carburetor on it, eliminate all those sensors and all those vacuum lines we don't need. Just get rid of all that and just run just a 2-barrel carburetor. But first thing, I got to get this thing where it's got some exhaust on it, and it's getting ready pretty soon to go to the paint and body shop to be repainted. So I want to get it where it's at least running right and it's quiet, make sure the engine isn't hurt, and move on from there, and then we'll get it to the body shop. So anyway, I'm gonna get it up on the lift. I want to get up under it. I did order some exhaust parts I can find. I ordered the stock muffler for it. I think I ordered a exhaust pipe, but I don't know how it's gonna hook up. So I'm gonna get it up in the air. Let's look up under it and see what we can do. Like I say, those holes on the converters are, I don't know what I'm gonna do about those. I might can take them off and try and weld them or something. I don't know. But let's just see what's going on up under. I know it has a transmission leak. I think one of the transmission lines, he's got like one of those couplers in the middle, like it might have had a hole in it, and he cut the line and put one of those line couplers. So we'll check that out too. But I know I did drive it, transmission shifts. It feels crappy on power. I mean, it's a V6, but I think a lot of that because the oxygen sensors are not hooked up, and so the computer is telling the throttle body and stuff to do wacky things. But let's get it up in there and see what's up. Okay, let's take this thing up. Alright, so we'll get up under there and take a peek at everything, and hopefully this will be sturdy, because I just rebuilt the cylinders yesterday, but it's on the stops, so we should be good. But let me get a light, and we will get up under there. Put the light up somewhere. Definitely need a light. See, that's the fan going. This is kind of warm. Now we'll go up under there and see what we got going with this exhaust. Alright, first off, we cut hose and converter on this side, and we cut a big gaping hole here, and we cut the pipe off here. Now I have a pipe, I think, that goes all the way to the back, and I have a muffler. I don't know how far it goes, but you can see the oxygen sensor wire just hanging there, and the car's pretty solid. I don't see any rust in the floors. like I say, these things are hard to find. So what I'm planning on doing is probably, I'm gonna look in there and see, does it need to be cleaned out or anything? I might just unbolt what's left and we'll see what's in there, if we can gut them out, and then see if we can just tack weld it back up. Because yeah, that's that transmission line that's leaking. He's got a union fitting, that's what they call it. It's leaking. I don't know what size shroud. I guess this is a C6. Got some leaks. But yeah, he did a number on that one. But we can weld that back up. I just want to make sure it's gutted. We don't have anything bad in it. So it's just 4 bolts. Maybe we can take this whole thing off. That one's gonna be a job to get to. It looks empty though. You might have already gutted it. I'll do some double checking. We'll see if we can make some exhaust for this thing. But up under here though, like I say, it's not too bad. There's some scale rust. It's like the rear main seal. I mean, not the rear main seal. The transmission seal, drive shaft seal's got a leak. That's easy. I think it's got a brand new gas tank in it. And a little bitty rear end. Look at that. Might have a yoke. That's loose. Look at that. The bolts are missing. A couple of the bolts are missing and one is loose. So the drive shaft is just kind of bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, look at that. We could have lost the drive shaft. Luckily I did come up under here. It's got, that bolt's loose, so it's missing a bolt. Looks like it might have a pinion seal leaking. It's got new shocks. Rust-free car. So anyway, I'm gonna work on this exhaust. Let's see what I can come up with on it. So here's some stuff I gathered up. This is supposed to be the factory muffler for it. I got the tailpipe. This pipe goes over the axle, sticks out the back. Well, it goes that way because that's the tailpipe, and it's got a hanger. And I got this little rubber. This is actually the rubber hanger that goes on the car, and then it hooks into that piece of metal sticking out there. So before I do anything to the converters, I'm gonna put the tailpipe under there, hang it. I'm gonna see what I need so we can connect the muffler to it, and then I gotta get a pipe to go up to the Y pipe where the converters are. So I'm gonna work on that first, and just kind of get an eyeball if I need to go to O'Reilly's or something. I know I gotta get some clamps, pipe clamps, just something to put together for now. If I need to, I'll take it to the muffler shop later and get him to tack weld it up. But we'll see what happens. So I got the muffler and the tailpipe up under the car. Got it ran over the axle, and I got it on the hanger, and it's pointing out. So I got to make a hanger for the back side of the muffler, because there's supposed to be a hanger. If I can get the light over here. Yeah, and to a spider web, lovely. There's supposed to be a hanger up there on that bracket where that zip tie is, and I can't find it. I tried to look it up on the internet, and I can't find a bracket for it. So I'm gonna have to make something, and I gotta either tack weld that or put a clamp on it. I'm not the best exhaust welder, so if I can get away with maybe buy one of those couplers to put on this end, or I can just tack weld around it. We'll see how it goes. But I did go to AutoZone and O'Reilly's looking for some pipe, and I came up with this here. I was going to use flex pipe to come off of the Y pipe going to the converter, But then I got to look in AutoZone. It's got a better selection of pipes than O'Reilly's. They got these 90s, and they got some straights. Now that's 2 1/4 inch pipe. That's on the muffler. Coming from the muffler up to the manifolds is 2 1/4. That tailpipe is actually 2. So I don't know why, but anyway, I bought some muffler clamps and I bought these pipes here. So I think this will work. I did some measuring and I came up with this instead of using flex pipe. What I'm gonna do it like that. That's gonna go on the manifold end, snake around and point towards the back. And then I got these straight pipes here, and hopefully that'll work. So we're gonna go up under the car and see if we can get this to work, and then I'll tear it back down and using my old tripod for this. I'll tear it back down and get those converters off and see what's in them. Make sure they're not stopped up. They cut a hole in them, but I don't know what's inside of them. They didn't take it off and gut them, but I still got to weld those holes up. But before I do that, I want to make sure they're not clogged up or something wiggling around in there. So let's get the pipe and let's see about just test fitting the exhaust for now, and then let's see, this is going to go here. I got to do a little shaving on the end. So this goes here. Got a straight piece. Got on the muffler. This piece here. Get the muffler straight. That should do it there. It's kind of close to the floorboard a little bit, but man, that works perfect. That works really well. Let me get, I don't know if y'all can see it. It's kind of hard. I didn't want to bring this all the way up because I still can't stand under it, but as you see, we got the pipe coming off the manifold pipe, coming around, snaking around, bloop, 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 going to the muffler. So that's almost like factory. And see, you still can get to the rear main, not the rear main, but the transmission rear seal, which I got to change it. And it's not in the way of anything. I mean, it's just right here, just a little close. But I probably can, when I get everything back there tidied up, I can get it off of this floorboard. It's just right up in here. Because right here, you're open. And it should be tucked up nice and neat. Oh yeah, that's perfect. It could, like I say, it could be over this way a little bit. I might be able to bend this pipe here over, but if not, I mean, this is good just to quieten it down. So I am going to check these converters, make sure they're straight, and I'm gonna take all this back off. I gotta fix the tailpipe part, and then I'll get all this buttoned up completely, and we should be good to go on the exhaust. We'll fire it up and see how it sounds. All right, so the exhaust is all hung up there. I got all new clamps except for one, because AutoZone ran out of pipe clamps. And I went through and checked these converters. I stuck a long rod inside of there where they had cut them open, and they were completely empty. So they gutted them, but they didn't patch the hose back up. So what I did, I got out my little Amazon wire welder and kind of welded it up real good on both converters. Now this side right here was the worst side, because they had just cut like a big opening and kind of folded the metal back, and looked like they had took some JB Weld and tried to weld the metal back. But this gray looking stuff here, after I welded it, I cranked it up for a little bit, and I still had some exhaust leaks. So I ended up going into AutoZone, and I seen this JB Weld exhaust system sealant. You can put this on like exhaust pipe cracks, you know, small stuff, just to seal up like this. I welded, and it still had like some pinholes, and I just smeared this over all the pinholes. I haven't cranked it up yet to see did it hold, but it does turn hard. I did use this stuff on the Torino, the 68 Torino headers. One of the headers had a slight hole in it, and I used it, and it hardened up, and it's still holding. So you basically just clean the area real good, and make sure there's no oil or rust, and then just you can take your finger and just kind of put it on there. But yeah, it's been sitting for about 30 minutes, and it's already hard. So like I said, that worked out good on that. But yeah, so I fixed the transmission leak. It was actually this transmission line right here. I thought it was just the union or compression fitting rather leaking. It was actually, they made this metal tube that goes up to the side of the transmission, and when they bent it, trying to make it fold or turn to go to the rest of the transmission line, it had a hairline crack in it. So I just found another 3/8 metal tube, and I bent it myself and got another compression fitting, just part of it, and put it on there, tightened it up, and ran it for a little bit, no leaks. So my next step is I got to get some bolts for the drive shaft, because it's missing 2 bolts and 2 of them are loose. I don't know, I guess they put a transmission in this thing, that's why they cut the transmission lines. I don't know. Oh, I gotta take that bungee cord off too, that's holding the muffler, and it ain't holding it no more. I mean, it's pretty sturdy. Yeah, and I gotta put a transmission seal, because it's been leaking while it's been sitting here. But other than that, I don't see anything else I need to do up under here. The exhaust is on, and all the way out to the tailpipe. And so after I fix that drive shaft stuff and the seal, we can let it down, move on, see can we get it to run better. It's got a slight miss in it. I don't know if it's a tune-up or whatever. Maybe the plug wires are on backwards. But yeah, the exhaust is done. This was the main thing I wanted to get done up under here, and so let's get to it up top. All right, so off camera, I did a compression test on the engine, and everything came back pretty good. I got like 150, on every cylinder. That's 1 through 6. And the spark plugs are not too great. And they're kind of foul looking. So all of them are the same way. I think they're more gas foul than anything. So all 6 of them. And it looked like they've been in there for a while because they got rust on the part where your socket goes. So I'm going to be putting some new plugs in it. The wires are new. I checked the firing order. It was right. The only thing I can think of to make it run rich, it don't look like a gas foul. I mean oil foul really. I mean it looks more like carbon. Like it was running too rich. And the only thing that can do that is the rear oxygen sensor is not hooked up. There's no oxygen sensor back there at all. And with the exhaust that we got on there now, there's no bung to screw the oxygen sensor in. So that could be making it run rich. It's got 2 oxygen sensors up on the manifolds, but when those converters were cut open, it was probably pulling in a lot of air or letting air escape. Maybe the gases was escaping more and not letting those oxygen sensors read right. So 2 or 3 factors. Like I said, this thing is throttle body and the base of it is just like a 2-barrel Ford. So I can take this throttle body off and put just a 2-barrel carburetor on there, but I will have to redo the fuel lines because they got high pressure fuel lines going to the back of the throttle body. There's a return and then there's your inlet. So I will have to redo the gas, the fuel lines, the hook to a 2-barrel carburetor. That can be an option that I really was wanting to do. I think it'll run a hell of a lot better with just a 2-barrel carburetor because these old school Ford throttle body systems, they can be a handful. I mean, you got a lot of sensors on here. You have to use the old school OBD, what's this, OBD 0, I think somewhere around here. I think you pull this up here. It says up. Is that not it? Somewhere, I think it's here. You plug your OBD 0 scanner into. I think some of these you can jump it with a paper clip and you watch the check engine light flash and it gives you the code. So it's just old school technology. Me myself, I would rather have just a 2-barrel, and all the throttle linkages should be the same. Only thing will be different is where the fuel line goes, and we can just kind of tuck the harness back. I did notice that the heater core hoses are cut, so that means that it don't have any heat. I guess the heater core is busted. So I'm gonna look at that, and then your EGR valve wires here has been chewed. It's been a squirrel or something up under here because they chewed those wires up pretty good, and they go right there. And there's some pecans and acorns and stuff up here on the intake. So this thing's set up a good while. So anyway, I'm going to put some new plugs in it. I'm going to do some reading up on that rear oxygen sensor. I was thinking, what if we just get an oxygen sensor? I might have an old one. Most of those Fords take the same oxygen sensor to plug in if it's like a 3-wire. The ones on the manifolds are 1-wire. So what if we could just plug one up back there, maybe to read atmosphere air, and put the new plugs in it, fire up. She doesn't run different. It just had a miss to it. I mean, it can be plugged. I mean, of course, plugs, they'll burn up. So it's not getting the right fire and fuel. But if we can get the throttle body system to work right, I mean, that'll be great. I'll leave it like it is. But looking at the compression, the motor seems to be healthy. So let me get back to work, and we'll get this thing fired up. I haven't fired it up since I let it down to really hear the exhaust. And I got the new transmission seal in for the drive shaft for the tail end seal or rear seal, so no more leaks there. Alright, so I got the new spark plugs in. It seems to be running a little better. It's got like a slight, sound like a lifter tick on the passenger side, or if you stand in front of the motor, it'll be the left hand side. But it seems like the computer is trying to do its thing. But it's got that tick. See if you can hear it. So I don't know if there's a lifter that's not primed up because it's been sitting up so long, or it might have a slightly bent push rod. I'll have to look up and see if these rocker arms are adjustable, or see how the head is made, whether it's got a rocker shaft or something that holds the rockers. But other than that, it's not running rough. I mean, the valve covers are pouring oil out. Other than that noise, really hear it when you rev the engine up. But it's got like a slight stumble to it. I'm thinking it's got either a slightly bent push rod or rocker that needs to be adjusted. See what it crank back up here. Cranks right up. Other than that noise, and it's got like a small stumble to it. So I got the manual for it. I'm going to look it up. Look it up and see how the head is made. Now it's got a 2.8 engine that also came in these. I didn't know it had a 2.8. This has the 3.8. I didn't know that. So they had the 4-cylinder and they had the 3.8. I mean 2.8 and 3.8. Let's see here. What can we find out? So it looked like there is some rocker adjustment, because I see he has some filler gauges. So maybe it's got a rocker that needs to be adjusted, or like I said, here's the push rods. Could have a slightly bent push rod. So that's what I need to see. So I guess my next step is I'm gonna pull that valve cover off and see. I got to put some valve cover gaskets on it anyway, because they're just pouring oil on the manifolds. See if I can see if it's got a loose rocker or something like that, and If it does, we'll adjust it out, get it adjusted out, and hopefully it gets rid of that little stumble it's got. But other than that, it sounds real good. It sounds better than it did before we put the exhaust on there, because when it didn't have any exhaust, it was just super loud and you couldn't tell what the engine was doing at all. So after doing some reading in the book, this 3.8 engine and 2.8 engines, and I think even the 4-cylinder, they don't have adjustable rocker arms. The only one that has adjustable rocker arm is the 5.0 engines. So they have just a solid rocker setup, so there's no adjustment at all. But it still can have a bent push rod. These things can wear out. I think they're called the Fulcrum. These can wear out and cause the rocker to be real loose, sloppy. But I'm still going to pull that valve cover off anyway, so I can see anything that might be loose or worn out that'll cause that noise. And if not, we'll just stick it back together. The oil looks fresh in it. We'll just kind of put it around and see what it does. If it blows, it blows. If it goes, it goes. So I just got the passenger side valve cover off, and just as I suspected, we either got a bent push rod or a collapsed stuck lifter. Hopefully it's just a bent push rod, but that's what that rattling noise was. That seems to be tight, the nut. I don't know what it is about these Fords with these bent push rods, but hopefully the cam is not messed up, and hopefully we can just change that push rod. I can't tell if there's any spring load. Let's pull that push rod out. I think that's a 10 millimeter, I want to say. That's why it had that stumble, that miss. It really wasn't missing too bad, but I can tell it had like a stumble. But if this lifter is not making contact with the push rod all the way to push down on your valve, look like this might be the intake valve, I believe. You won't have any combustion in the cylinder, and it will have a slight miss, low on power. So I heard the lifter release, like I just heard some air. So that's the rocker arm. Hopefully it's not a, let's just pull that push rod out. Oh my God. Oh no. Look at that. That is definitely bent. I've never seen one bent that bad. It ain't no straightening that. We just got to get a new one. Oh, that's a bad sign. I hope it don't have a bad lifter. Now these can have stuck lifters, and when the cam comes around, the lifter, the inside of it will be stuck because there's a spring inside of the lifter, and if that's all stuck, when the cam comes around and goes to push up to the rocker, it's just solid. I mean, and it just bend the hell out of it. Oh man. The only thing we can do is get another rocker. Now this is called the what do they call it? The Fulcrum. This goes inside of the rocker. So definitely I'm gonna need a push rod. Now these have the holes in it, so oil comes through the end of it. That comes up through the hole in the rocker arm, and that sends oil inside of the rocker and down on top of the valve stem. Keeps that all lubed up. So I guess I'm gonna call around, see if I can find a push rod, and what I might do before I put the valve cover back on is maybe bump it over, make sure that lifter is moving up and down. I don't want to put it back together and then it bends the push rod again, then I got to pull it all back down. But I want to make sure everything is working right before. I wish I could see down in that hole. We might be able to see down in that hole. I can see if that lifter's stuck, because you'll be able to tell, because the plunger in the lifter will be stuck in. Well, it'll be stuck out. But I did hear some release pressure. So let me see what I can do on this, and we'll go from there. So I got some new push rods. They sell them 4 to a pack, and we got the new valve cover gaskets, because it definitely needs valve cover gaskets. And this is what the push rod's supposed to look like versus what that one looks like. So $5 for that and about $10 for that. So try buying that for a newer car these days. So I got the new push rod in here. So I'm going to bump it over with the start button. I got the ignition disconnected, and we'll bump it over and make sure it doesn't bend another push rod, and make sure that this valve and lifter is doing what it's supposed to do. So everything's out of the way, I think, pretty much. Contact. All right, so as you see, it didn't bend, it's tight, so that's good. I'm still wondering why it had compression even though it had a bent push rod. I guess if that valve wasn't open for the compression to escape, it will still have good compression. But good thing is it didn't bend the push rod. I hope it don't do it again. So I'm gonna clean up the head and get ready to put the new valve cover gasket and put the valve cover back on. And this one over here appears to be leaking too, so I might as well go ahead and rip it off before I crank it up, put the new valve cover gasket on that side, and get it fired back up, and should have some different results on how this thing runs. I mean, it was only running on 5 cylinders, which is still sound good, but I can just tell when you hit the throttle, it had like I said, it had like a stumble in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything cleaned up, get everything back together. We'll get it fired up, and we'll get it out, take it for a cruise. So I got the driver's side tore down, and this engine looks pretty clean in there. I mean, none of the push rods were bent. You don't see any big oil buildup or stuff like that on the rockers or the push rods. So this engine, well, what it's saying on the dash is 63,000. So I don't know if it's 163,000. We can look at the gas pedal and brake pedal and see, is there any wear? If this is a 63,000 engine, I mean, that'd be great. It had the factory valve cover gaskets, that's for sure. It ain't much wear on that brake pedal. The gas pedal either. Even though the gas pedal is hard plastic, but that rubber on the brake pedal, that looks pretty good. So it might be a 63,000 mile car and engine. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and button this side up and let it sit for a minute, let the sealant dry, and we'll fire it up. Alright, so I let it sit so the silicone can dry up a little bit, because if oil hits silicone, it just turns into like liquid and it won't even stick anymore. So let's see what this thing sounds like now. Oh, I forgot to hook the starter solenoid back up, because I had the starter button hooked up. All the plug wires on, coils hooked back up. Okay. Definitely quiet. Let it warm up a little bit. I'm hearing it rattling, that's for sure. Sounds real good. That sounds awesome now. Nice and smooth. Sounds real good. That's the way it's supposed to sound. Man, that engine runs really, really good. So now just got to get the breather back on it and check the transmission fluid one more time, make sure it's got enough coolant in it, and air up the tires. It should have brakes. Well, I know it's got brakes because I've been moving it around. Now the guy we got it from said that it had a problem with not staying running, which I haven't really experienced that, but for sure it had a bent push rod and the exhaust was not connected anymore. The converters had holes cut in them and needed a tune-up, but this thing runs really, really smooth. We put valve cover gaskets on it, so no oil leaks up top. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing buttoned up, and let's get it out and drive it. I haven't drove it. I think I drove it down the street one time, but it was so loud and it running kind of crappy. I didn't want to really push it. Let's see how it cranks back up. Tires right up. Now, one more thing about it. It is missing the rear oxygen sensor. There's an oxygen sensor that's supposed to go, I guess, to the back of the original converter. I don't know if it had 3 on it or not, but those things are really hard to find. I've been trying to find one. It's just a 2-wire oxygen sensor. So if I find one, I have to get a bung welded onto the exhaust, probably run some wires and run it over to the exhaust pipe. But if it runs good without it, I'm not even gonna worry about it. So yeah, so I'm gonna get this thing buttoned up. Let's get it out and see what it's gonna do. Can't tell if it's smoking or not. But I do think the timing needs to be adjusted. I'm gonna adjust the timing on it. I found out that it's 12 degrees before top dead center. I've already went up under there and marked 12 degrees on the balancer. So I'm gonna just see where it's at, turn the distributor, and get it set, because I bet you they were messing around with it, like I said, and then we'll take it back out for drive. So I'm gonna fire it up. I got the distributor loose already. I mean, this thing's running smoother and smoother. I can't see. It looks like it's at looks like it's at 9. Turn just a hair. That's 10, 11, mark, and 12. Didn't change very much. That should be 12 there. It's got like 0, 10, 20, 30. It was at 9. It's set at 12 now. I guess we'll see what it does. Didn't change much. I didn't hear it. It idled up a little bit, but I don't know. Let's take it for a spin.
So back in 1991, my dad took me to get my first car. I think he had to pay a $500 deposit. It was only $1,700 total. It was a 1983 Mercury Capri, and I just loved the car. It was blue with bluish gray interior.
she goes in her Mercury Capri, like she had in high school. She be rolling. Man, she is whipping it. Okay, now there, Miss Whip It. She's gonna put it to the test. She's freaking flying in it. Okay, first time drive. First drive. I've been drove and I don't even remember what the guy told me. That thing runs good though. I need to fix that hatchback still because it shakes. Here she comes again. It's so quiet you can't even hear her run. All right. That thing sits up high with those big old wheels on the back. I think it needs an engine mount too. But it's work in progress. Yeah, it's a car coming. Let this car pass. Here she comes. Can't even hear it run. That's how good exhaust work I did. Just putting stuff together with what I had and what I bought. Here she comes. That's a good looking automobile there. She's having her memories come back now. Here she comes. Looking good in there. So how you like it?
I love it.
Does it bring back memories?
It does. Pleasant, good memories. From church, when I was the only one with a car at church, and everybody piled in, and 5 people piled in.
Yeah.
Sometimes 6.
Well, that's going to be it, guys. The 84 Mercury Capri. Next time you see it, hopefully it'll be all restored. She's going to get it. What color are you going to get it painted?
Black.
She's going to get it painted black. So next time you see it, it'll be black. Totally different looking car. But like I said, that's going to be it. We're going to get back home, just out driving this thing around for the first time, and we'll holler at y'all later. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Make sure you leave comments, because the algorithm really likes that stuff and puts these videos out there, and that encouraged me to do more. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope y'all having a good, safe weekend, and y'all have a good, safe week. And y'all can check out the second channel, RPM Auto Moto, Facebook RPM Auto, and Instagram RPM Auto 4. All right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. We'll holler at y'all later.